Hello everyone, I'm teacher Neha, and through these videos we are going to see how maths we can learn in a very simple manner. Whatever the topic I'm going to take, I will start with the very basic things which are there, so it will be easy for the one who are very weak also, who don't know the basic. So let's start with the basic and then to the difficulty level. Okay, so today what we are going to study in our first video is linear equations in two variables. So let's start what is linear equation in two variables. Let's see the basic thing first. If suppose I take two values which I don't know, so x and y. So when I add this x plus y, the answer what I get is 5. Where the value of x and y is unknown. Now here in this case there are two variables which are used. Now what are the variables? If I am writing 5x, x becomes the variable, 5 becomes the coefficient. Now in this, the general form of linear equations and two variables. So let's see what is the general form of the linear equations in two variables. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. What is this? This is the general form of the linear equations in two variables. In this case, x and y is nothing but the variable, and a and b, this a and b are called as coefficients. Now, a, b and c, these can be any real numbers. A, B, C can be any real numbers. Now what are real numbers? Real numbers, it can be positive. It is a set of numbers with including the positive numbers, including the negative numbers. It has fractions. It can be the irrational numbers. Okay, so together everything, it becomes the set of the real numbers. Now, A, B, the condition is A and B should not be equal to 0. This is very important. A and B should not be equal to 0. Why? Because suppose A becomes 0, then 0 multiplied by x is 0. So this entire term becomes 0. And what we get will be just by plus c is equal to 0. When we get by plus c is equal to 0, here what we have is only one variable. And what we are learning is equations in two variables. So, it should not be, a should not be equal to 0. At the same time, b should not be also 0. If b becomes 0, that is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, as I said, if b becomes 0, then 0 into y will be 0. So this term will not exist. And if it doesn't exist, that means you get the equation as ax plus c is equal to 0. Again, this is the equation with only one variable. What we are going to study is the in two variables. So, the concept, the thing is very clear that any equation which is in the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is called as a linear equations in two variables. Now, what about c? Okay, c is called, here if you look at the c, there is no xy, it is just a common, it's a number. So, c is called as a constant term. So it can be, c can be equal to 1, minus 1, 5 upon 2, root 3, whatever it is. But c, okay, can be 0. Even C can be 0 because if it is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, suppose, then what happens is A can be remain any non-zero, B also will be non-zero, and if I consider plus 0 is equal to 0, this will not affect the equation because we have still the equations in two variables. Okay, so this is a very basic what is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c are the real numbers, but the condition is a and b should not be equal to 0. So let's see now what are the examples. So let's see few examples based on linear equations in two variables. For example, 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. This becomes the linear equation where the value of a is 2, the value of b is 3 and c is nothing but the constant term. One more example what we can take is minus 4x minus 2y is equal to 8. Again the same. Here a will be equal to minus 4, b will be equal to minus 2, c is nothing but 8. So this is the linear equation. This is an example of linear equation in two variables. Now let's see the solutions of the equations. How to find the solution of the equation. For example, x plus y is equal to 8. A very simple equation. X plus y is equal to 8. Now, let's suppose x is nothing but 2. The value of x I have considered, I have assumed the value of x as 2. So, when I substitute the value of x in the given equation, so instead of x, it will be 2 plus as it is, y as it is equal to 8. Instead of x, I have taken the value 2. So, wherever is x, I will substitute 2. Now, y is equal to, this is the constant term which goes that side and will get subtracted. So 8, 2 after going that, then it will be minus 2. So y is equal to 8 minus 2 is nothing but 6. So when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 6 is the solution of the given equation. Now it's not only that 2 can be the solution of x. As we change the value for x, what happens is the value of y also will change. For example, the one more example what I will take, or one more value for the x I will take. For example, x is equal to minus 5. So let's see, now I have taken minus, or I have taken the negative number. So what happens is, instead of x, again I will substitute minus 5. So minus 5 plus becomes as it is, y is as it is equal to 8. So y is equal to, this 8 will remain as it is, minus 5 goes on the other side, becomes plus 5. So y is equal to 8 plus 5 is 30. So here when x becomes minus 5, y is 13. Okay. So here the set of solutions what we get is minus 5 and 30. So when x is minus 5, you get y as 13. When x is 2, you get y as 6. So in this accordingly, you can take any values of x and find out the value of y. Similarly, you can take any value for y and get the value of x. This type of the questions can be asked for the exams. Also, it can be asked in your board exams. Again, as I said, This is just the basic. Now slowly we will move to the next level. Okay, so this is a very basic equation. Let's go to the little higher level. Now, in this equation, we have 10x plus 15y is equal to 120. Let's assume now the value of y. In the previous sums, we saw the value of x. Now we are going to see the value. We'll substitute certain value of y. As I said, you can use any value. Okay. For here, for this sum, I am using y as 2. So let's say put y is equal to 2. So when I substitute in this, 10x will remain as it is, plus will remain as it is, 15y means 15 multiplied by y. So instead of y, we will substitute 2. So 15 y is nothing but 2. So 15 into 2. Now I can also write as 15 multiplied by 2, or we can also give the bracket. The meaning is same, that is 15 multiplied by 2. Okay, so that is equal to 120. 10x again as it is, plus we will multiply, 15 2s are 30, which is equal to 120. 10x 120 as it is, 30 goes on the other side. As this is plus, after going there it becomes minus. So 10x is equal to 120 minus 30 becomes 90. Therefore, x is equal to 90. This 10, as it was multiplication here, it will go and will get divided. When you divide, you get the value of x as 9. So, if you look at this, we substituted y and we got x. Similarly, if you would have substituted x, you will get y. This type of questions can come for 1 mark or 2 marks. Mostly it comes for 1 mark, where the equations are given, one of the value is given and it is told to find out the value of the other variable. If the equation is little bigger, little complicated, it can be asked for the 2 marks. So, as I said, in this sum, when you get x 9, the value of y was 2. Always remember, my dear students, when we finish solving the sums, at the end, always the most important thing is to write the statement. You have to write down whatever the values you have got. So, at the end of this, you have to write down x is equal to 9 and y is equal to 2 is the solution of the equation. So, we have got this one set of the equation. I hope I have made myself clear with this concepts, okay, and you are clear with this. So, today what we have seen is what are linear equations in two variables and how to find the value of the other variable if one variable is given. In my next video, we will be going through the different methods to solve these linear equations in two variables. There are the methods, so in next video, we will be going through it. So stay tuned and have a nice day.